All right, let's see. Sound check 1 2. Yeah, we're looking good on sound into OBS. Let's YouTube. Let's hear chat, not comments. Comments are fine. And let me pull up Twitch chat. I don't know if we'll anybody in the chat, but we might as well have it open. Let's go to here. Okay. Actually, let's see here. I'm gonna pop this one. This, we need this. There's our chat. Okay. This one. I think we're ready though. So I'm testing out this EMC 2101, which is a PWM fan controller here. So it connects I2C back to the microcontroller, and then it connects to the fan with some of the pins, and then it can, I think, tell the fan to go. It looks like in this case it also has feedback, and it's telling it how fast it's going. My fans do that. Not entirely sure though. I've only hooked this up, I think, once or twice. And it's been a while, and I don't remember the exact way, so I'm definitely going to start with the Learn Guide. Good to know. Accidentally connecting fan V+. V+. EMC or feather made damage. Oh, okay. I think this is in the event that you are running a fan a different voltage than the microcontroller. So yeah, I mean this is typically used in PCs, like in a desktop PC, or I guess there's probably one in a laptop PC also. It's just smaller. And in that type of environment, the fan is probably going to be running off of like at least 5 volts, maybe even 12, maybe 9. Do PC power supplies give you 9? I don't know. How's it going there, Doc? That one. Red line, hey, nice. It's a cool looking line. So I think that's what this is talking about, is like if you were using like 12 volts, for instance, obviously you would definitely not want to feed that into the microcontroller. If you look here, yeah, this has got fan's voltage supply is on these 2 rails. These 2 connections. So where does this go though? It's just like behind this card. It's kind of odd. I guess these are just labels. Okay. Okay, this would be going to the fan. Yeah, this would be going to the fan. There just isn't fan depicted. Okay. So red is from our big voltage, ground goes to the fan, ground gets jumped over this side of the breakout, And yeah, the feather definitely doesn't touch this rail. Okay. I think in my case, I'm not using higher voltage. Sound distant. Oh, that's a good point. Let me check here. Yeah, totally is. This one probably check. Yeah, that's probably better. I can move this up a little bit too. Thanks for the heads up. Pin frame, just a little bit. Only the wire. There we go. Oh, let's check the volume too. Sometimes it likes to save the volume with the type. Okay, so I think though in my case, if we don't need higher power, I think we're just gonna go basically instead of this, we're just gonna use at most the USB pin, which would be 5 volts, but maybe just 3 volts. Let's see if our fan says anything. Doesn't look like it. Could try to find the order. See if I got any specs with them. Have anything on it? Nope. Nope. That's not a good sign. Nice. Yeah, thank you for the heads up on the microphone. Let's see. I can actually find these. Fan? Okay. Raspberry Pi controllable fans. Elverton. Usually it's not about the higher voltage but current rate, so you want the power that drives the fan separate from the controller power, basically like any other motor. That very well could be. I will say like the electrical side of things, I have very little, I guess, knowledge or experience, so I would defer to, sounds like you probably know better than I do, or certainly lots of the folks around the Discord. DC 5 volt. Okay. Consume 0.06 milliamps. Is that too much for the just using USB? Lined up, yep, ground is there. B is broken out to that rail. Let's jump ground first. And wait, it's a shame I don't have a bigger. Maybe I should grab the bigger breadboard so that we could use the stemma port a little bit easier. Yeah. Need anything else while I go? Let's see. A couple extra wires still. Okay, I'll get the stemma cable too. Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back.
We don't want bigger, but separate. This one. Okay. Let's see. Let me grab this link. Motor driver. Scroll down after 2. Is it? Let's see. I guess it's getting power through here. Oh, okay, yeah. This one feeds in. Is it alright to drive it off of 5 volts for a minute from the... just from the USB pin? I don't know where it would be documented how much current it provides, I guess. I mean, it's not really up to the feather, is it? I guess partially? I know that I have a super easy to use extra supply for it. Batteries, I guess. Batteries 3.7 volts. We'll try it. It's on the fan. Yours looks small enough. Okay. We'll give it a try. I'm pretty sure I ran it before, and I am guessing this is how I did it. I do not remember. The good news is too, like, I don't necessarily need to ramp it up super fast. I don't need to run it for a long time. I need to basically just make sure the changes to the driver work. What is the transistor in here? Transistor collector. Connects back to itself from the breakout. What does that do? What happens if we leave it out? Probably a bad question to ask. ENDP. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything temperature sensing wise. So we mainly want to go, well, so these four we get from our stemma cable. We do want ground over to this one. Oh. Have ground to the fan. We're gonna have power to the fan, but I'm gonna plug it in last. Blue. So I think we have no tachometer on this fan. So blue just goes to fan. And I don't have blue, but I'm gonna use orange. Okay, so we got our semi connections, we got fan, power's not connected yet, ground, it's connected through the far rail, jump to this rail, connected to ground. Blue is connected to the fan pin on the controller. Got no tack. Yeah. Guess in the video you showed the temperature sensor was built into the fan. In this one? Or in the, not sure which video I had. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what I had up when I said that. Okay, and so this is not plugged in yet. Let's the USB. And I guess let's connect. I think we connect the fan and then we plug in the USB. If I disappear, then broke my computer. Hopefully not. Okay. I'll just zoom it back out so we can try to see all this stuff. The other thing I'll do actually is let's open device workspace. Get ready to connect there. I don't remember what I had on this. I think the RFM radio stuff from yesterday. Okay. Did not like randomly shut down my computer. Good sign. Oh. Creepy cat has woken up. I probably I have to trade out the ball for the chair pretty soon. Do we need to keep this one? This was... Oh yeah, we can keep that. That's the radio CLI. RFIM 9X. Radio CLI. Here we can find simple test, hopefully. Okay, so it is trying to read the temperature. We did not actually connect. I wonder if what it does. Oh. Okay. Okay, yeah, fan's on. Well, it thinks it knows the speed, but it doesn't actually know the speed, does it? No. Okay, yeah, it just stays at that number. That's just the magic number for some reason. Put our fan on. I could... Annual fan speed, so 25, then 50, then 75, then 100. And then take temperature readings, sleep, and start over. And our temperature readings should be bogus. I don't know, 22C might be kind of close. What is that in Fahrenheit? I mean, it can't... No, it can't know the temperature, right? Because it's not connected... Well, I guess if the temperature is inside the fan controller, then it can maybe know the temperature. 71. Probably a little bit cooler than it really is, but it's not out of the ballpark. 127. We better hope for not. 127C. Yeah. Wonder where it's is that external? I guess that, I mean, external, it would make sense if that's where we would need to have this connected. And that did say DNDP, external temperature diode. Okay, so we didn't connect it. So it does make sense external temperature would be messed up. Internal temp does seem right. I don't really know where it would be. I could try to influence it, see if my finger does anything. No, it hasn't changed. I'm gonna trade out the ball before it gets hole poked in it. Okay. Readjust the height. I'm gonna see, do I see like the actual different stages of speed? Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, 25 is way slower. Where's the internal temp coming from? Yeah, good question. I mean, in the code that I have, it comes from internal temperature here, which is... Well, okay, so this one is actually slightly different. Maybe we should go... For now, I guess let's go back to main first. Let me also rename this while I'm here. Okay, this is changing. PR changes it over to module. We'll need to check setup pi. It's reading it through the I2C bus from the sensor, so it must just be built into here. Doesn't really have a pin. I mean, the I2C pins, but temperature monitoring. Oh, neat. That's kind of cool. That's all I got though. Somewhere on this is a thing that tells it the temperature, and then we read it out of the register inside this driver. I don't think setup pi changed, so that's one thing that we'll definitely want to do. Yeah. I'm gonna stop this running. Oh. Just kept it on the same speed it was. In speed 0. Okay, now it turned off. Oh, it doesn't have the comment. Interesting. Usually there's a comment here that tells you when it needs to be module and when it needs to be package. I think it needs packages. It's on main and it's packages. It's on the branch and its packages. Packages sounds right, but I guess module is probably right. Oh, the docks aren't building. Well, I think I saw that the other day. Oh, weird. Okay. No, module was singles, but then packages is for folders, but wait a minute. Oh. Last month? Maybe my version was just out of date. Oh yeah, cause this is gonna be Foamy Guy main. It's definitely gonna be out of date. Let's update this, huh? We should probably be I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. This would have fetched. Well, we might as well though. Okay. Yeah, it was already updated in the actual repo to be a package. Just mine was out of date. Okay. So then this PR did not actually change it. Means we don't need to do anything more here. Unless if there were more packages inside, which there aren't. Okay. So let's put this modified one onto our device. Got the basic code running. What are the other examples actually? We run the other examples first. Set PWM frequency. Well, we don't have external. Yeah, we don't have external. Reset. Forced external temp. Oh, there's a way to kind of cheat the external temperature. Huh. Let's try these on the current driver first. Make sure we don't see anything too weird. Okay. Yeah, that definitely did speed up as it went along. It's weird the code ends while it's still running. I almost think it should have that at the end, probably. That's kind of outside the scope of the PR I'm looking at. Oh, it's still running. Didn't actually turn it off. Is that what I did before? Okay, I need to do fan speed. There's no attribute fan speed. Gettable but not settable. Annual fan speed 50. Maybe we should turn these back off. Oh, I didn't do false. Yeah, turned off that time. Okay, so the one of these was keeping it running. That's interesting. You can see how it reacts to different external temperatures. Makes sense that this exists, but I had no idea that the fan controller was so tightly coupled to a temperature thing. Let's try the other one. There was one more, right? This one sets it to 50 every iteration through the loop. It's kind of weird. Wouldn't it do the same thing if it just set it to 50 up there? And this one doesn't have that use external mode or anything, so it's not... I assume it's changing the speed based on the temperature. This code is unreachable. Is it? Yeah, I guess so, huh? Nice. Okay. We know how those behave. Let's do our modified library. That. Status alert. Let's go back to simple test. So it's printing the fan speed, or yeah, printing the fan speed. I do think this is one of the changes. This didn't used to call check status on these. Yeah. Status register and check for a fault indicated. I don't really know what it would be checking for. Maybe it's because I don't have the tachometer? Maybe it knows the tachometer's not connected? Does that make any sense? So it could be because of the tachometer, which kind of makes sense, I guess, because I am asking for the fan speed and I don't have the tachometer hooked up, so it can't give me the fan speed. So I kind of see the case for like the user code shouldn't do that if it's not hooked up. But I also kind of see the case for like the simple test should work in the most simple case. In this case, I think is without the tachometer, since like fans are readily available without it. So I think I would either not make that raise an exception or change simple test not to have the fan speed prints. I think I lean towards not raise the exception Because it is nice if they do have the tachometer to show them that functionality, and it is still part of the most basic functionality in that case. So let's, what if we just take out all of those? No longer reading the fan speed. Status alert. Doesn't stop the fan running when it status alerts. Quick status, external temperature. So same thing here though, right? Like I don't have the external thing hooked up, so oh, status alert on internal temperature. Well, we were getting internal temperature before, and it seemed fairly good. I don't know. Maybe it's, I mean, I guess if it's just checking the same status alert. Can't find. Weird. Maybe it almost looks to me like it has different errors, but our code is not actually checking for the different errors. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth discussing if we want it to aggressively crash versus try to do the best that it can. Check the other two as well. I think they both, I think all of them do reference like the getters, right? Basically, it's pretty much all the getters. Like we don't, yeah, pretty much all the getters we can't use anymore, it seems. Assuming they all have that check status put into them now. Yeah, because this one's going to read fan speed. Oh, even before it... Oh wait, status alert on initialize. We didn't even make it past initialize. Peppy. That seems odd. Not any different than before, is it? Am I missing something? So this board I2C initialize the driver. Nothing else has happened yet. And that succeeds. We go inside here and we do more stuff. Board I2C, initialize the driver. The next line is different, right? We didn't have this in the previous one. But we crash on 10, where we initialize. All the code is the same. Oh, all the code is not the same. It's from a different place. So I found one Learn guide that uses this device. Maybe we go look at it and see if it would end up crashing for these things. Well, let's do the third one real fast. Does it... Yeah, because simple test, this imports from here instead of LUT version. So the part of the refactoring of this PR was making this LUT version of the driver has slightly different behavior. And this is going to be the same one though, right? Yeah, I'm going to have the same problem here. Actually, I can't test either of these. Why, though? Okay. Yeah, I think that's definitely worth a wider discussion. I don't necessarily am not the one, I don't think, to decide 100%. I feel like I lean towards the examples not being broken. So if the examples absolutely positively must have everything connected, then they should probably say like they absolutely. But I mean, like, wouldn't that mean? I mean, it means basically that the examples are just not compatible at all with the fan that I got, because the fan that I got has no tachometer, so it's never going to be connected. Assuming that at least one of the reasons that the check status is happening is the lack of the tachometer, that means that just this fan can't be used with any of the examples as written, which I think is not ideal. But maybe I just bought a janky fan. That's possible too. I don't really know that much about the fan I bought, and I bought it just specifically for testing something on this library, so it's not like, I don't know. It seems weird though that like we have certain stuff that just works fine today that we would want to have not work fine afterwards. I think I lean towards it'd be better to keep it running. Maybe if we want to print more errors, or maybe if we want to have like a verbose mode. Maybe that's an idea. What if we had like not verbose mode, but what if we had like strict mode? So what if it was like it's a constructor. What if it had like strict equal false or something, and if you put this to true, then it will call that thing every time and it will raise exceptions. If something is not right, but if you leave it false, then it can still run. I could be on board with something like that. Alright, well, we'll keep that one in mind. Other thing I want to try to look at is tab layout stuff. So Paul's example, I'm still working on trying to help Paul get the PR in, get a PR in for the tab layout. However, it might be easier now because I think actual tab layout itself got merged. Yeah, tab layout. We could, was there a release? Let's make a release. Oh. Okay. 19 is definitely higher. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is start from the latest version of the code that I have, which is alright, I don't necessarily want to, I don't know what all is in here. There might be stuff we don't want to show, so I name it. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get Circuit not error when calling install help without a board. Oh, yeah, that would be nice. That'll help. Could see it being tough if it does, like, immediately start trying to find the board in order to find the current libraries. Thought I had, oh, here we go, okay. Some of that stuff is all fine. Ah. This is probably like, isn't there a setting inside Git for rectifying the fact that Windows has different line endings? Get disco tool to pass any option to circuit. Nice. Any option. Nice. I've not actually used this GitHub desktop too much. I am trying to give it a try. I think what I want to do probably is start before this. Can we remove this? Remove. I don't want to actually delete it. I think what we want to do is just start right over with clone. So I'm going to take, I'm going to go, actually I'm going to go to my own fork. Oh, right, this doesn't work anymore. Can you not see that on there? Ah, here we go. This Paul, yeah, Paul is from Adafruit now. That part I think we're good. Actually, I'm going to go to my fork. I'm going to get the URL from here. I'm gonna go and rename the my local copy so I can actually just clone it to the same place and not have the name overwrite it. I'll just rename that to old. May come back and grab it for something else later. So I'm gonna grab this URL from my fork of GitHub under code, copy this, we're gonna go to here, put it into URL. So this was clone from the internet and then URL tab. Paste that, clone. No idea where that cloned to. How are you planning to use this fork? To contribute to the parent project? Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's actually really cool. Nice. Okay, so this thing has like PRs and issues kind of stuff built in. Yeah, so we are using this to contribute. So I'm going to say contribute to parent, continue. Okay, so now we got this here. We have no local changes. Let's go fetch origin. Just fetched now, current branch main. So let's see if I can change origin to FoamyGuy. I like using the GitHub username as the remote name rather than origin. Origin just is not specific, right? Like origin sometimes is my repo, sometimes is Adafruit repo. I don't want to ever accidentally get those two confused, so I always like to rename my remotes. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. Let's actually go. Documents, GitHub. Repository settings, config, work behavior. Okay, there's how you can change that. Remote. Primary remote. Oh no, I can't rename it. So how do you add another one? Doesn't look like we can rename it, and it also doesn't seem like we can have multiples. They're both kind of a bummer, truthfully. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go towards using a terminal instead. Yeah. I will try to stay out of PyCharm though, and I will try to use just the terminal and see if I can get everything done correctly that way. But I'm actually just gonna make another new clone because I don't want to use that one from my documents folder. I guess I could go copy paste it, but also just make a new one. So I'm just gonna go to the place where I clone all the CircuitPython stuff. I renamed the other one to old, so I should be able to just use this name. So I'm gonna go git clone this, and again, this is my fork, so it has my name in it. Yours will have yours. Clone it. I'm gonna go inside of that folder. Okay, we're inside of it. I am gonna do that, change my remote name. So get remote -v, this will show me the name of my remotes. Right now, the name is origin for both, there's only one remote and it's called origin and it's for both pulling and pushing. I think that's what those mean. We want to rename it, get remote rename origin. I'm gonna name mine FoamyGuy, you should name yours whatever your GitHub name is. And then if you want to add the Adafruit remote, then you could use the name Adafruit. So now if I run this again, get remote v, it has FoamyGuy. So let's also go ahead and add the Adafruit remote. Copy this. And, well, okay, actually, hold on. No, let's do it from the browser. Sorry, that's a little trick I do sometimes, but actually it's maybe easier to see what I'm doing if I just do it from here. So I'm going to go back to the Adafruit fork, so the main version of this repository. I'm going to get its URL. Then I'm going to go get remote add Adafruit. We're going to put that. And then we're going to go one more time, list, get remote-v, and there we can see we now have 2 remotes, one Adafruit, one Foamy Guy. I'll go ahead and fetch. I'll fetch mine too. I don't know if that will do anything. Nope, okay. Okay, so we are up to date with the Adafruit version of the repo. We fetched, we have our 2 remotes, so if we wanted to make a PR, the next thing we need to do is make a branch. So I'm still at my terminal, I'm inside that repository still. I'm gonna go git checkout -b for new branch, the name of the new branch, which is gonna be, I'll say advanced tab layout example. You can choose any name that you like. And now we're choosing where does it come from? What branch do we want to start our new branch from? And because this has been merged now, we can actually just start it from Adafruit main. If you did this prior to now, before it got merged, which was a couple hours ago, then you would have probably needed to start from like Foamy Guy tab layout or something different. But now it's merged, we can actually just start from Adafruit main. We can do this, no track, -- no track. That will make it so that we're starting from this branch, but we're not tracking that branch. So when we go to push, we're not going to be pushing to Adafruit main, which of course we don't want to do. So now we're on our new branch, has our name, started from Adafruit main. So now we would basically make our changes. So at this point, what I will do is I'll open it up in PyCharm, but I'm not going to do any of the git stuff. I'm going to try to avoid doing the git stuff in PyCharm. Do it back in the terminal. But I'll open it and I'll paste in the changes from that copy of the code that's over in Dropbox. And you could paste in these changes with anything, obviously. I'm going to use PyCharm because I'm familiar with it, but anything should work. Our changes are in the examples. I think it's, here we go, yeah, examples, and let me see here. Hot plug, so I think are they all in here, or were there more beyond that one too, I think? No new fonts. No new bitmaps. Was everything in hot plug? And then this is also, this one is from before it actually got merged to main, so we actually don't have the tab layout example here. Yeah, I think maybe these are all of them in here. Tab layout, hot plug, yeah. And the image, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we might just, we could take the whole folder. Let's paste that in here. Okay, so when I paste it into PyCharm, PyCharm asked me if I want to add these files to the repo. For now, I'm just going to do cancel, which is basically no. Because again, I want to do all of that stuff in the terminal instead. I'm not going to add that way. Here's all of our stuff. PyCharm does tell me these are all red, which means that they aren't added, which makes sense because I just told it not to add them. I'll go back to the terminal. And now we basically need to add all these files. So we can go, I think we might be able to target the folder. So we could go git add examples / hotplug. And it told me these things, which I think is basically saying that the end of lines are going to get treated as Linux or Unix end of lines instead of Windows. But this is fairly common to see this. I see this a fair amount. I think especially if you're working on Windows, it's probably going to tell you stuff like this. So basically, I think we want the Unix line endings in the repo, but then your local Git instance can like switch them to Windows if you want it to. So we got those added. In this case, they are green now over in the PyCharm, but again, since we're trying to stick to the terminal, we could also say git status. I think this would show us now. So yeah, all these new files here. We got our status. So really we can run pre-commit because we do want to run like black and pylint on the examples. So pre-commit run -a for all files. This a little bit and put it on the actual screen here. Okay, so we do have some of these things. I think maybe these got changed. Maybe we'll change these back. So one thing is we need reuse for the image. We actually need to have new file bg image 4.bmp.license. Cancel. I'm gonna add it again with the terminal. Git add examples hot plug images bg. Okay, added that. For the actual license, I mean, this is basically from that PyPortal project, I think. Like a modified version of that one, maybe? Oh, we can clean those up too. And we can always change this later if this came from a different place. I think this came from the Learn Guide, the like PyPortal interface Learn Guide maybe. If that's not the case though, we can oh, capture the screen is all wonky. Refresh fixed it. Huh. Could have definitely started from my end. If the internet hiccups here, sometimes it does weird stuff. Okay. So we got our license in. That should make it pass reuse. We are still gonna have a bunch of these pylint errors because I think what it looks like maybe what happened is one of the settings on, I'm gonna say your computer, really I'm talking to Paul because I'm gonna share the timestamp to this portion of the video afterwards, but it looks like maybe one of the settings on your computer, Paul, has changed the line endings to be Windows ones. That's my guess. Twitch video working fine. Nice. Yeah, thanks for the heads up, both of you. I think I've definitely also, from the viewer side, I've had it where I'm watching a stream and it gets all wonky and then I refresh it and it does come back. Only seen Twitch do some weird stuff. Okay. So I think what I'm going to start with actually is just telling Paul that the one issue is the license for the image, and then the other issue I think is the way the line endings changed. So two main reasons. One, the new image file. What was it? BG something something. BG image 4. Oh, BG image 4. Okay. Let's say I think are currently set to Windows line. I believe the checks try to enforce Unix style endings. Yeah, it could be in the editor. Could be in the editor. Don't know which editor they're using. I think that the Git client, though, I'm trying to remember back to my days of using Git on Windows. Whenever I installed Git on Windows, it would have this wizard at the beginning where you could click through and do a couple of settings, and one of the settings I recall seeing was like basically like automatically change them, like change them to Windows style when you check it out, and then change them back to Linux style before you push it up. So that way you like don't worry about it, and it just works normally on your computer, and it works normally in the repo. Hopefully that kind of setting is still around. It's been a while since I have messed with Windows, but I think that that was something that it had back then. So for one thing, did I actually remove this in mine? Yeah, okay. The real one did remove it, which is good. Oh, another thing we'll need to check for is showing versus active. Yeah, we do need to change those over. That's my bad. I changed that towards the end. I don't remember if I did that on the stream or afterwards, honestly. I changed those to be showing instead of active. I think what we'll do is let's put this stuff in. Let's put Paul. And one of these have, yeah. Could maybe remove the like change notes. I don't think it's too bad to keep them, but if it is stuff that is from like prior versions, I think it's okay to remove them as well. That being said, it's like super nice to keep track of all of that stuff, so maybe we keep them in anyway. Honestly, I'm pretty bad about listing out dates and changes and stuff like that. I should be better about it than I am, truthfully. I'm pretty good with commits nowadays, though. I'll try to make lots of commits and use those as the timestamp and the note about what was going on with it. But I am also guilty of commit messages that are like changed some stuff. Okay. I don't know. How can we get these? How can we get these to change over? If I like push them, will they switch over? They did the thing and fixed a few other stuff. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's from a little while ago. Fixed a few other things. So some of them are other Pylint things which we can work through still. Globals. A ton of them are these. I'd love to get these ones switched over though. Then we could get a sense for like how many real ones we have to work through, because I think these are just, should be a way we can just convert it, I think. Do either of you use Windows, Cedar or Neradoc? You're both still there? Curious what this command shows on Windows. If I understand correctly, it should be true. Basically, true means when we pull, we change from Unix to Windows. And when we push, we change from Windows to Unix, which I think is what we want. On Windows, that's how you want it. So I have input, which means when I push, they will get changed to Unix. I don't remember having that issue when using GitHub app on Windows, but I was only ever checking out existing repos and creating files with Linux endings. Gotcha. We'll see for Disco Tool. So if I push, theoretically, it will change them for me, and then I could pull again afterwards, and I might be able to share those resulting files. Okay, so where are we at here? Git status. We have a bunch of things modified because we changed the files and we haven't added them again yet. Okay, now we have everything added. Git commit -m to make a commit. Git push foamy guy advanced tab layout example. I don't have a token ready. I'm gonna have to get a token. We'll say this is one of the downsides of not using PyCharm. PyCharm remembers the token for me. Okay. Oh, interesting. It like printed stuff in here to make a PR from this? Is that what this does? Huh. I never noticed that before. So now theoretically that should have changed them to Linux, I think. So if we did like git pull, phony guy, advanced tab layout example, already up to date. Maybe it already changed them. We still have those things from pre-commit? Set up git for SSH use. I don't have to log in. How does that work? Need to do that maybe. You don't have to ever get like a token? Put your token in? Still say these. PHPR create web. Oh, interesting. I didn't know create. GH. I'm slowly learning more and more helpful things from GH. HPR create. This didn't actually change the line endings. I mean, that surely doesn't exist. Okay. Think you can do multiples? Maybe we shouldn't try. Maybe we should try. Why not, right? Let's try. Okay, worked fine for all the ones that weren't the folder. Why doesn't the black formatter have like a line too long? Doesn't it split lines? I guess it doesn't actually just... Should not just leave this chilling on the screen here waiting for me to accidentally reveal it. What was I saying? I don't know, I lost it, I guess. Oh, why doesn't black change the lines to be short enough? I haven't had to use the token with desktop tool, but not all get commands are implemented in there. Well, for most of my projects, though. When you say the desktop tool, Cedar, do you mean like the desktop app, like this thing here? This like GUI application one? Or do you mean something different? I do think, though, we don't have any line ending stuff now. We ran that, and all of our things now are like too long, variable name, you know, re-raising, global stuff, re-raising, too many statements, line too long. These ones are all pretty standard, just Pylint complains about the code style. We are all the way up to 902 from 525. We're doing pretty good. Oh, we didn't add. Git add. Git add hot plug. Why are these not blue anymore? They change back or something? Hmm. Did it make the commit? That is weird. Yes, the desktop app. I could see, I do think that one was just a login. I first did it. I set it up the earlier today or yesterday sometime. I think I did it yesterday. Huh. I don't know why. So like PyCharm noticed that these changed before and they were blue, and then I was trying to make a commit with them and it told me I hadn't added them, so then I tried to add them. But then it just says there's nothing to commit, basically. And now they're not blue anymore, and my pre-commit still passes at the same number. 902. That is weird. Alright, what's here? The guide on setting up GitHub with SSH. Put it over here. Ah, come on. Oh, I just copied it first. So you basically connect, like, once when you start up your computer, or I guess it could be made automatic also. But it like runs SSH something and then connects you to the Git server. And then you no longer need to authenticate each time you do something? Or it does all of its communication over SSH and you tell it the location of your key and it's just grabbing it each time it needs it. Okay. Interesting. This might be interesting. I mean, it's definitely interesting. This might be helpful to me, I guess, really is what I should say. Because I do find myself creating these tokens over and over again because one of them is saved in PyCharm, but then like I needed a new one saved in CLion, and there wasn't an easy way to get the one out of PyCharm, and then there's not an easy way to get it from the web page either. Once you like create it, you can see it right when you create it, but you can't see it anymore after that. I can revoke it, but I can't like see it again. So I end up creating more and more and more because like they're basically one-time use. I don't save them anywhere where I can copy them out of. I guess maybe that's another thing I could do. But if I had a key pair, then I can just have that on my computer. All the different IDEs could use it and the terminal. I wouldn't have to have different tokens for each thing. That does sound pretty nice, actually. Probably look into setting that up. Okay. I think that's all I got for tonight, though. Those are really the main two things I wanted to get into, was this fan testing and take a pass through Paul's example here. Tell it where the key is and it automatically uses it. Yeah. Yeah, if somebody has access, yeah, if they have access to your computer, then... I mean, if they have access to my computer, they have access to my Git anyway, right? Because PyCharm has the key stored inside of it and will happily push to anything that I have access to. So, like, can't let them have access to the computer. That part doesn't change, just the mechanism of how it authenticates. That sounds a lot more convenient, though, to have one key pair just saved on the computer and all the different IDEs and everything use it. That sounds pretty sweet. I could definitely, that would definitely be a lot simpler than what I have now, because I did paste different ones into each one, and I end up grabbing new ones on occasion as well. And then the permissions change, and like some of them don't work. They need different permissions. There's all kinds of weird stuff. But I'm going to head out for now. Thank you, Neradoc and C. Grover, anybody else who is watching. I'll be back on... I still haven't checked in with Scott, actually. I'm not sure if I'm doing Deep Dive this week. So far, as far as I am aware, I am, but I do not know. I'll have to check in with Scott sometime this week. But if not Deep Dive, then definitely Saturday. So that's when I'll be on next. And yeah. Possibly stop by Show and Tell tomorrow, I'm not sure. Might show the tab layout. It's been a couple of weeks since I showed that. We've got a lot of good progress on it. But I don't know if I have anything else going on tomorrow night, so we'll have to see. But anyway, I'll head out for now. Thank you, everyone, for watching again, and I'll catch you all next time.